Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Definitely got some analysis for the week. So, excited to get into some charts. We got a lot of red folders this week, so we definitely got some opportunity to capitalize on. What's going on, y'all? When y'all join in, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know who up in there for the day. And like I said, man, we got some pretty good opportunities for the week. Last week was a bit slow. Took structure a minute to kind of catch up. I think last week I literally only took one trade, and it was, I believe it was Thursday night on gold. But being that I wasn't looking at it, I mean, gold, it did a whole lot of whipsaw and back and forth on Friday. Ended up hitting TP, but it was a lot of topsy-turvy on Friday. And granted that I wasn't looking at it, it hit TP. So if that's a trade that you would have been looking at physically, it'll mess with your psychology. It'll definitely mess with your psychology. But like I said, I only took one trade last week. So hopefully the market this week will give really good market structure and those moves will play out. So but like I said, we should definitely have some opportunities this week to capitalize on. And so we're gonna give everybody, let's see, we're gonna give everybody about 2 more minutes before we kind of grind it in or grind it out or whatever. And so like I said, I'm excited to get into the charts. Man, I'm always excited to get into the charts though. So it just, I don't know. Hey man, talk to me. Do y'all like to mark up charts? I actually like marking up charts. Like when you got a blank chart, just marking it up, seeing exactly what the market is doing. Like I actually enjoy marking up charts. Hey Ish, what's going on, my man? Yeah, I actually like marking up charts, man. That's one of the things I like to do. Even back testing. A lot of people don't really back test. And it kind of goes over people's heads as far as the value that backtesting adds to your trading, your psychology, and all of that. It's almost like I said, Joe, it's almost like any sport or anything you're trying to master. If you're trying to play basketball, you're trying to play football. The more practice you get that muscle memory, and things start to happen and come together for you. And in sports, it's the same thing with trading. You get that muscle memory, always constantly seeing these patterns, seeing the algorithm, seeing your moves play out. It'll give you a better mindset to actually, take those trades and see your moves and all of that kind of thing. If you're the type that's, hesitant on entries, doing those different things in back testing, because in back testing, I'm gonna be honest with you, I take a lot of L's in back testing, because that's the time where you can play around with a few things. And you can test out this strategy, test out that strategy, but that's okay, because you're testing it out in order to get better. Me, I usually do about 25 back tests a week. And with that, it helps me with muscle memory to see that type of thing all the time, over and over. And it helps my psychology too. You know what I'm saying? You might think you might see something on a Monday or a Tuesday, and through your back testing, it'll help you understand that on a Monday or a Tuesday, okay, this pair, it does a lot of fake outs, or it does this. So all of that stuff will happen in back testing. But yeah, but y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to talk y'all head off with back testing, but that's just just a little nugget there. So let's go ahead and get into prayer. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this day, Lord. I want to thank you for life, health, and strength. I want to thank anybody that's under the sound of my voice, anybody that's affiliated or associated with this particular channel. I pray that it continue to be a resource or a tool that could possibly help, not if it's not 5 or 6 or 7, just one person become financially free. I pray that this tool can help someone create a better lifestyle for themselves and their families, Lord. And Lord, I pray that I'm always humble, and that, the content that's provided here will always provide value. I pray that everybody who's trading this week, they'll have patience, and they can see the market with clarity. And Lord, I ask these things in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. Let's get into it, man. I'm always excited, like I always say. So let's go ahead and knock it out. So if we're looking at Forex Factory, so anybody that's new, I want to, whenever we go live, I want to address those who are always here, but those who are new, who actually don't know anything about trading. So one of the first things that we usually do on our weekly analysis is we look at Forex Factory, forexfactory.com. This is where we get our news, because the news heavily impacts the pairs that we trade, depending on that currency, okay? So on Sunday, we got AUD movement tonight at 8:30. So for me, I usually don't do any trading on Sunday or Monday. It has to be some big anomaly for me to really trade on a Sunday or Monday. But more times than not, the pairs that I trade, I usually don't fool with the market on Sunday or Monday. I let the market kind of resets itself over the weekend. Then maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is usually the days where I really kind of get down and dirty, okay? So if we're looking at Tuesday, we can see AUD, we got, kicking off for London, we got Governor Bullock speaking around 2:40, so just be mindful. AUD will have some movement during our London session. Then 8 o'clock, we got S&P Composite 20 HPI. I'm not really sure what this is. I need to kind of research this. Let's take a look at this and see what it is. Change in the selling price of single family homes in the 20 metropolitan areas. Okay, so I need to do a little bit more research on this. Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller House Price Index. Oh, HP. Okay, House Price Index. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, so also that day we got news at 9 o'clock as well. We got CB Consumer Confidence, JOLTS Jobs Openings. Okay. 8:30 that night, we got AUD, we got CPI. So AUD is gonna have a lot of movement on Tuesday, being from AUD and USD. So let's be mindful of that on Tuesday, you guys. Wednesday, we got Euro all day. And then during our London session, we got the Spanish Flash CPI. So pretty much CPI on Euro during our London session. And then we have non-farm payroll, because this week is the first, I believe this is the, yeah, so we got NFP this week, which means that we're gonna have movement. Okay, so NFP, it looks like it's gonna start on this week's Wednesday. Okay, 7:15, and then we also have GDP price index on USD for 7:30 on Wednesday. 9 a.m. we got USD as well. 8:30 we got the Chinese yuan, manufacturing PMI. Going into Thursday, we got unemployment claims at 7:30, and we also got the core PCI price index for USD as well. Okay, we got CPI on Euro during our London session. 8:45 we got the Chinese yuan, and then kicking it off for Friday, we have CPI during our London session for Chef. We got CAD and USD kicking it off at 7:30 with non-farm payroll. And then we also have ICM manufacturing PMI on Friday at 9 a.m. So this week we're gonna have some fireworks. Just be mindful when you're trading NFP, the market can move in swift increments. So just be mindful of that. You know, you don't necessarily want to be in a trade before NFP, because price can shoot up and do like a whipsaw, go all the way up, come all the way down, ping you out, and all of that kind of thing. So just be mindful of where you are if you are in trades this week. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick it off. We're gonna start off with Euro. One of the things that I like to do, you guys, on going into the end of the month, I like to look at the monthly, just take a peek at the monthly time frame, just to kind of see what the market did last month. Okay, so if we're looking at the monthly time frame, let's just look at this. I'm gonna hide everything as well, just to kind of see exactly what the market, you know, kind of did within the month. So one of the things that we can see during the month, we were kind of moving, you know, in almost like a bullish type situation here. Let me hide this stuff or whatever. Again, you know what? We're gonna hide all of this right quick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna highlight all of this. We're gonna put all of that in a folder. All right, there we go. So as you can see on the monthly, we were almost in sort of an incline here, just from a monthly perspective. And I'm gonna make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. And we can see that it was creating bullish order blocks. We got a bullish, bearish, bullish here. Price came down, bullish, bearish, bullish. So it's almost like it's retesting these monthly order blocks here. Order block here, order block here, and things like that. Okay, and so it looks like price is coming down, kind of testing this trend. Price closed lower than this area here. So we don't know if price will continue to the downside. But we did have price to come up here and actually tap into a supply level on the H4, and you can also see that there was a monthly supply here that price tapped into. So one of the things that could happen is price can possibly come down a little bit, maybe tap into this monthly imbalance here. We just don't know. Okay, but at any rate, this area here, if it breaks this, then the monthly will be breaking a short-term low here. So we just want to see exactly what price is going to do. Okay, so now let's go to the daily and kind of see what's going on. All right, so if we're looking at this, let me go ahead and add all this stuff back in for a second. So on the daily, one of the things that we can see is we're still bullish. Okay, so we have higher high, higher low, higher high. Price is actually retesting right now, and price is actually within our daily golden zone. Okay, one of the things we can see as of last week, price kind of broke through this demand level here, because this demand level actually shot up and broke this high here. So this was a strong demand level, but price, you can see price kind of broke through it. So right now, price is kind of reacting off of this demand level here from a daily perspective. Okay, we can actually remove this one because it's a mute point right now. Price already broke it. So we want to see if this demand level will hold or if it'll come down to this level here. But right now it's kind of reacting off of this here. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, this is our 4-hour structure that we have. Okay, we're bearish on a 4-hour currently right now. And we can see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So actually this area here is our last lower high point as far as our H4. So we can move this on down here. And one of the things that we can see is price kind of broke our last low here. Okay, so price came down, broke through, and so we want to see if we want to get some sort of impulse to come up to this area and maybe continue to the downside, or if price breaks this H4 high here, then possibly we'll continue to the upside and price can start its going to the high and continuing with pro trend on the daily. So if we drop to the 15-minute, let's actually look at structure. Okay, so one of the things, like I said, price is currently reacting off this daily demand zone, and we actually broke this area down here. Now, one of the things that we can see on this particular price, well, on this particular pair, is we have 15-minute structure to come down, lower low, lower high, lower low, breakup structure. Okay, so we had a 15-minute breakup structure here. Okay, 15-minute breakup structure. We had a demand zone in this area here. Okay, and one of the things we can see is price came down. We had a little liquidity down here to kind of take out liquidity, and then price started to come up. Okay, and so one of the things, because we had these massive moves, this was part of that whipsaw move I was talking about that I actually saw on gold as well from this past Friday. Price kind of shot up, shot down, and all types of things. But one of the things that I would be a lot more comfortable with this, I want to see price actually take out this high here before we kind of commit to it. Okay, if price takes out this high, then that'll let me know, okay, now we're in comfortable bullish structure on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so we want to wait for price to take this out and then possibly create, you know, something like this. Okay, because when price take this out, then this is our protected low here. Okay, currently right now it's acting as our protected low, but however, it's not confirmed as a confirmed, you know, low until this actually gets broken. Okay, so that's one of the things that we want to wait for. So we'll set an alert here to say this is our, let me see, EU 15-minute higher high. EU breaks, let's say that. EU breaks 15-minute higher high. Okay, well, let's make sure that this goes into our chat so everybody can see. Let's come here, let's copy this. Okay, so that's what we want to see for this particular pair before we kind of jump into it. And so hopefully the market either Monday or Tuesday you know, can kind of break through this and kind of give us some comfortable structure to look at. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have on EU right now. I'm looking for price to turn around from a bullish perspective, and I want to see price actually break this lower high here. But we'll be patient. Let's be patient and see exactly what the market is going to do. All right, so let's go over to USD CAD. Okay, so looking at the monthly on USD CAD, let's see what it's giving us, you guys. I'm gonna hide a lot of this stuff here. So as you can see on the monthly, we had a huge bullish impulse on the monthly for USD CAD. As you can see, we got a nice morning star pattern here. Price broke this area here and kind of broke through this area here. Both of these candles have pretty much engulfed those. Okay, so if we drop over to the daily, one of the things that we can see from a daily perspective, let's go ahead and put this stuff back on. The daily, one second. So we can see on the daily, initially we were bearish, or low, high, or low, or high, lower low in this area here. Okay, and then we had a break of structure. We can see price broke in this area here, giving us that break of structure point. Okay, let's go ahead and put our marks back on. We can see price gave us a break of structure, and then price just started to run away in this fashion here. There's no real clear structure on the daily. However, we do have structure on the 4 hour, and we can see there's just a long, massive run. But price still needs to turn around and retest in this particular area. Okay, one of the things that we can see is price came up, it tapped into this daily demand here, this daily supply here, kind of broke through a little bit, and it tapped into this H4 supply all the way at the top. So right now, currently, this is actually at the top of the range. And so one of the things I want to see if price will start is decline as far as its retest. Okay, so now if we go over to the 4 hour, we can look at 4 hour structure. Okay, so one of the things that we had, we can actually move this now. So our structure was like so: higher high, okay, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so now what we can do, we can actually move this to this area here, because this is our new structure in this area here. Okay, and as we can see, price kind of came up to this area here. This is not necessarily confirmed as of yet, because we don't have a confirmed, we have to wait until that area kind of pulls back and kind of breaks through. But we can see that the last high was broken. All right, so one of the things that we want to see is if price is going to pull back into this area here. Okay, so let's drop to the 15-minute and see what we got. Okay, now on the 15-minute time frame, let's look at structure. So right now, if we're looking at the lowest and the highest point from a 15-minute perspective, we see this area here. We can deem this as our M15 low. This is our M15 week high up in this area here. Okay, so on a 15-minute perspective, this is the area that we're playing, you know, kind of playing in between. Okay, now we can see that price kind of pulled back in this area, but I don't necessarily want to look at this as a pullback, because this particular candle is kind of creating that high and low point, and it's still kind of engulfed within this. So right now, this is our swing from a 15-minute perspective. Okay, all right, so right now on a 15-minute, if we were looking to be bullish, this is our demand level here. Okay, we can see price is kind of rested in our demand level, and we can see if price will break this area. But being that we're currently at the top of a range in a supply, I want to be really, really patient with this. I really don't want to look for buys because we're already at the top of the range. So one of the things I want to look for with this to see if price will possibly give us that 15-minute break of structure, come back, tap into a level of supply, and then continue our descent structure for a H4 pullback, or to possibly start that deep retracement on the daily time frame. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to see if USD CAD will possibly give us something like that. Now, like I said, it can go higher because we are bullish, but right now, because the daily don't really have any clear structure and it's due for a pullback, that's one of the things I want to look for with this. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have on this particular pair right now. I do want to set a alert on this 15-minute structure. USD CAD, H4 BOS. Also, you guys, one of the things I forgot to say, if there's any pairs that you guys want to see marked up, go ahead and put them in the chat and I'll be happy to get to them. All right, let me go ahead and, oh man, I need to change this. That's not GJ, it's here. Okay, take this, save that, paste that there. paste that there. All right. Okay. So if price decides to break this area here, we can kind of look and see exactly what price is going to do. We'll come back and look at it. If it breaks to a higher high, then we can change our bias a little bit, but we're going to be patient on this one as well. So the beginning of this week is pretty much a lot of patience, you guys. All right. So going into AU, let's check out the monthly on AU. Now we know that from our news analysis, we have a lot of news that's going to be popping off on AU this week. So we'll definitely be mindful of the news that's going on. Okay. So right now, if we're looking at the monthly, we can see that there was a huge monthly demand here. Okay. Price is still kind of resting in this monthly demand. Price broke up, broke short-term high here, tapped into the supply here, then came down to kind of test this demand level again. Okay. So after that, price kind of broke down, gave us a dragonfly doji, good morning star here. Price came up. Now it's coming down to actually tap into this level of demand here. Okay. So we're currently resting in this level of demand here. This is a monthly level. All right. And we can see price from a monthly perspective pretty much engulf this candle here. All right. Gave us a clear stop right here. Now we drop to our daily just to kind of see exactly what's going on. We had a nice consolidation for a minute from a daily perspective. And so one of the things that we can see with this, let's go ahead and break it down. All right, from a daily perspective, you know, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, gave us a break of structure here. Came down, gave us another retest in this area here. All right, and then it started to trickle down. Okay, so currently price gave us that descent to kind of tap into this monthly demand level here. Okay, so a couple of things that we can see from a daily perspective just to kind of stand out is a point of interest is on the daily we have this bearish, bullish, bearish. This was the thing that kind of stood out to me clear as day. Reason being is because this level of supply has not been mitigated yet, and additionally we can see that price broke this supply level broke these short-term lows. Okay, we can see that price came here, it broke this low here, broke this low here, and it also broke this low here. Okay, so it broke 3 short-term lows. So this is a strong supply level here for me, and price needs to come back to actually tap into this area. Okay, so if we drop to the 4 hour, let's look at structure. Okay, let's look at structure. So one of the things that we have on our 4 hour time frame, let's go ahead and put it back on there. Okay, so looking at our 4 hour structure, let's see. We got lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, price came up, tapped into this H4 supply here, and then price decided to trickle down. So one of the things I want to see, you guys, I want to see if price will break this low here. Okay, if it breaks this low, then that's a continuation as far as our H4 structure. But let's drop to the 15-minute to kind of see what's going on. Okay, on the 15-minute, we're still bearish right now. Okay, so one of the things that we can see on our 15-minute structure, we got a lower low, we got a lower high, lower low in this area here. So right now we want to be patient because we know we got a lot of news coming in on AU this week. So we can mark up our 15-minute structure to have it on there. This is a strong, a 15-minute strong. We have a 15-minute week down here. Okay. This is our week low for the 15-minute. And so one of the things we can do, we can set an alert here just to see if this will break. And if it does, we can possibly look to ride price back up. Okay. But one of the things though, being that it's so close to the H4 low, I want to actually see it break that area. Let's see. AU breaks. No. AU 15-minute BOS. I'll put that. And we'll come here. Okay. So I want to see price break this, give us a retest and continue to the upside. But if it doesn't, like I said, I'll put an alert on this H4 low here. Because if it breaks that, then I know that it's going to continue in structure. AU breaks H4 week low. Okay. All right. So that's what we're looking at right now for AU. So just to kind of recap, AU on a 4-hour time frame is bearish. Okay, I want to see if it'll break this area, maybe come a little deeper into this demand level before it continues to the upside. But we'll see. We'll see what it's going to do. Ultimately, I'm looking for price to come back and tap into this daily level here. I want to see this because this is unmitigated. So to me, this is a strong level because of all of the lows that it actually broke. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move over to GU. All right, you guys, looking at the monthly for GU, we can see that the monthly is bearish. Okay. And we can see that from, lower low, lower high, lower low. Or we can say this is our lower high there, whichever one. And it broke, you got liquidity here, you can see that price actually broke these areas here. Okay. So from a monthly perspective, price is pretty much retesting a bullish order block. So from a monthly perspective, we got bullish, bearish, bullish. Price came up, retested. Bullish, bearish, bullish. Price came up, looked like it's retesting again. Okay. So is there a point of interest that we're actually looking for? Yeah. We're looking for this area here. We can see price actually tapped into it a little bit. And with that, price looked like, gave us that tap and came down and tapped into this bullish, bearish, bullish area here from a monthly perspective. Okay. So now if we drop to a daily, one of the things that we can see, we just transitioned to bearish because let's go ahead and look at this, you guys. Initially, we were bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high. And we can see that price closed below our low here. Even though it's small, we can see that we have a body closure in this area here, which signifies that we have a daily break of structure. Okay. So we got that daily break of structure. So one of the things that we might see is for price to come down a little bit further and then maybe go to the top side. Before we do that though, let's actually mark down our continuation pattern here where price is. So if we mark this and we say this is a monthly bullish, bearish, bullish, just so we can know where we are within the market. Okay, let's go back to the daily. Okay, so we understand that all of this is a bullish, bearish, bullish pattern. So what price can do is come down anywhere in this area to pretty much, play around before it actually shoots to the top side. We can also see that price is tapping into this daily demand here. Okay. Price is tapping into this daily demand. So we want to be patient and see exactly what price is going to do from a GU perspective. Okay. But we're dropping to the 4 hour. We're looking at our 4 hour structure. We can see the price came down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, we can see that price broke this low, so we're kind of sitting down here in this area right here. All right, let's drop to the 15-minute and look at structure. So our 15-minute structure, you guys, is pretty much looking like the same things that we pretty much saw on all of our pairs. All of them have this whipsaw pattern here, and all of them kind of are pretty much resting in this area here. So if we look at this, we're pretty much looking at a lower low, lower high, lower low, because it broke this low here. Okay, so we're bearish here on GU as well. So we pretty much have almost the same structure, like I said, on pretty much all USD pairs. This is our strong high here, and this is our weak low here on a 15-minute time frame. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna put an alert on this area here. GU breaks 15-minute. No, let's see, GU 15-minute BOS. Okay, so like I said, GU is pretty much the same thing. There's nothing big about it right now. We want to kind of let the market kind of rest into itself. But if it breaks this, we'll understand that the price possibly wants to turn around. But I'm looking for it to go a little bit further because it's closed below and broke this daily here. I want to see it come a little deeper into this area. That's some of the things that I'm expecting. I'm expecting to come a little deeper into this monthly level here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at gold. Let's look at that golden girl and see what she's talking about. All right, let's look at the monthly. Okay, now for me, gold is definitely in a decline. Okay, however, we need to be mindful as well where it's sitting from a monthly perspective. We can see we got this massive bullish, bearish, bullish pattern here. Price came up, broke through, came down, retested in this area. However, right now, from a monthly, we can see that we have a bearish, bullish, bearish, and price, you know, depending on how the week close out, you know, this can end up in a bearish, bullish, bearish pattern. Because right now the monthly is not closed as of yet, but this is giving us a good indication or some sort of knowledge into what price is looking like right now. Okay, so we can see that price came down to this area here and decided to come back up, but we just want to be mindful exactly where price is. Okay, if we go to a daily, one of the things that I have on here from a daily perspective is a daily target down in this area here, and I'll show you guys why. So we can see that we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price broke this area here, which shows that from a daily perspective, we are bearish. So let's just say if we took a fib from the top all the way down to the bottom, okay, we can see price came up, tapped into our golden zone up in this area, and then it came down. So our negative 27 is down here. So this is a target that I'm actually looking for price to actually make it to. Okay, so right now we just planted a lower low from a daily perspective, so we can actually move this down here now. Okay, because we're clearly in downward structure, and we have clear structure as to what price is doing right now. Gold is bearish, so right now we're retesting right now. So from a daily perspective, what are some of the things that we have? We have this supply here. Okay, and because we have a confirmed low, you know, our fibs is like so. Okay, so right now, you know, we can possibly look for price to come up here, tap into this golden zone, and then continue down to this area here. Okay, so that's one of the things that we want to see. All right, let's drop it to the 4 hour. One of the things that happened last week, price, let me go ahead and add all of this extra stuff back on here for a second. Okay, I think I removed a lot of that stuff. Let's see. Okay, yeah. All right. So right now, if we're looking at a 4 hour perspective, coming up to this area, there's not really any clear or concise structure from a 4 hour perspective. Only thing that we can see is in these areas over here, we had, you know, structure come down here in this area here, and then it shot up like this. Okay, because all of this stuff, you know, it's a lot of consolidation and breaks and things like that, and so the structure is not really clean. But price came up to this area, and this is probably a 4 hour turnaround, and prices might come down possibly in this area here. Now if we go to the 15-minute time frame, I can show you what happened last week. Okay, so from a 15-minute perspective on gold, we had price to give us a higher high, higher low, higher high, break of structure in this area right here. Okay, and so for me last week, I end up catching a trade in this area here. I'm sorry I didn't post it, but my entry was here and my target was actually this demand zone right here. Okay, and I believe that my stop loss was a little bit above this area. So as you guys can see, when I actually took the trade, it was actually over in this area. So it took a long time, you guys, for my trade to play out, because I actually caught this move over here. Price did not stop me out, but it came down, and it's a good thing on Friday that I wasn't looking at it, because as you can see, price came up, came down, whipsawed up, came all the way down, whipsawed up again, and then broke through. So I was in this trade, and like I said, Thursday, yeah, it was Thursday night that I actually, or Thursday morning rather. Yeah, it was Thursday morning when I took this trade, and it didn't finalize out until Friday, possibly about 10 o'clock. So I was in this trade for an entire day. But as we can see, we're in a decline now on gold. We're in pro swing phase with gold, okay? So one of the things that we can see is we have 15-minute structure. Price came up here, and so our 15-minute low is down in this area here. Okay, so one of the things that we want to see, I can actually take this off, is we can see now that price is right creeping up on this supply level here from a 15-minute perspective. Okay, price possibly comes up here, maybe give us a break of structure retest, and then continue to the downside, because right now this is our 15-minute strong high. We really don't expect price to break this area because we got clear structure. We got lower low, lower high, lower low. So we want to see price come up here and possibly continue its structure. Okay, so that's something that we want to see right now. As far as gold, I'm in a bearish kind of, you know, I'm looking for sales right now, because we're bearish on a 15, on a 4 hour. We're retesting and possibly going to continue downward as well, because like I said, I'm looking for this area here to be taken out. All right, if price breaks this 15-minute area here, I'll be looking for price to possibly come up into this daily and maybe type into this area here. But because we have, like I said, we have structure to the downside, I'm more bearish right now, and we're in pro swing phase for me for trading, and so I'll be looking for a lot of sales with gold this particular week. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and put an alert right here on the supply. Gold taps 15-minute supply. So that's something that we can be mindful of with this particular supply to see exactly what it's going to do and possibly continue structure to the downside. Because what we can do, we can play off of these swings. Let's drop it to the 5 minute. I want to see something. Okay, so check this out. On the 5 minute time frame, we have a bearish, bullish, bearish here. We have an imbalance in this area here. Okay, so if we look at price coming up to this area here, let me mark this as a 5 minute. And let's look at the risk to reward on this particular pair. So let's say if we took a trade here and right above this area, that's about 50 something pips. Okay, and we came down to this area here. That's like a 1 to 2.4. And if that's not within your trading plan, for me, mine's is a 1 to 3 or better. So for me, I wouldn't necessarily take this. And I know some of you guys are like, but that's a 50 pip stop loss. Even though it's a 50 pip stop loss, depending on your trading plan, if it's a 1 to 3, it's still a 1 to 3. Like, let's just say if you were targeting this area like this, that's a 1 to 3. So you can utilize the calculator to actually particularly, take that particular trade. Now for me, I don't really like taking, trades with 50 pip stop losses or whatever. But if it's a 1 to 3, a 1 to 3 is a 1 to 3 regardless of what the stop loss is. Like, for example, let's say if you were doing a 1 to 3 and you only wanted to risk, let's say you had a prop firm with $10,000 and you wanted to risk 1%, which was $100. You still can do that. So I'm gonna show you guys. So let's just say, you had $100. And you can see here, the stop loss is 55 pips. So basically what you can say is 100 divided by 55 equals. And so this is 1.8. So we just moved the decimal over one space. And so your lot size for something like this will be a 0.18. Okay? Move your decimal over, it'll be a 0.18. And so that will give you that risk tolerance. Well, if you lost this, that'll be $100. But if you hit, that'll be $300. Okay, so you can look at it from that type of perspective. Okay, so every trade that you do or whatever you take, you always want to look at your stop loss first before you look at the risk to reward. For me, all of my trades are based on risk management, the stop loss first. I look at that before anything. So for a trade such as that, now for me, let's just say if I took this trade and when I came up here, because I always target the weak lows, this low here. So if I took this and this was a 1 to 3, this would be something I will consider. It would be something I can consider because I'll say, okay, if it's a 1 to 3, I know what my risk tolerance is for this particular trade, yada, yada, yada. But because this is under a 1 to 3, I wouldn't take it, okay? Because that's in my trading plan. All right, but to recap on gold, right now, I'm looking for sales, but I want to see price come up a little bit further into this area before it continue down and take out this low here. Okay, I hope that makes sense, you guys. All right, going into NZD Chef, you guys. So let's take a look on NZD Chef. So one of the things that we talked about a couple of weeks ago is that NZD Chef was literally at like an all-time low. So let me hide everything. And I'm gonna go to the monthly. If we go to the monthly and we look on this particular pair, if we go all the way back, there's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing down here. And we can see that this was the last low that was pretty much liquidity. Price came down and just whipsawed and shot back up. But price actually closed down in this area. Okay, so this is the lowest that, like I said, it ever been. If we go to the daily, what's one of the breadcrumbs that we can see that price wants to turn around? Can you guys see it? Bullish, bearish, bullish. What is price doing right now? Uh-oh, I already got it on there. Price is actually coming and actually retesting inside of this bullish, bearish, bullish. Okay, and then additionally, what else do we see? If we drop to the 4 hour, here's another indication that price wants to turn around. We got a 4 hour break of structure in this area here. Okay, so right now we're resting in between this bullish, bearish, bullish. but we also have a couple of confluences down here. Down here, we have an imbalance that we want to see price possibly tap into. Additionally, we have this huge H4 demand level here as well. Price can come down, tap into this area, 15-minute breaker structure retest, and then our ultimate target, you guys, is this high right here. This is what I'm looking to take out. This is our target. Okay, so if we drop it down to the 15-minute time frame, we can see right now we're currently bearish because price is still in this retesting phase. Okay, so we can see, you know, price came down, lower low, lower high. Yep, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, let's check it out. Yep, so this here is our confirmed lower high here. This is another pair. Probably gold and NZD Chef will be the pairs that I'm looking at mostly for this week. This is our strong high here, and then our low is down in that area there. I'll probably put an alert on this imbalance. NZD Chef hits imbalance. Okay. This is going to be a really good pair if we catch this pair correctly. Okay, it gave all of the fake outs a couple weeks ago, but because we got that breaker structure on the 4 hour and we have that bullish bearish bullish, those are two huge confluences because higher time frame is king. You know, we have to follow the higher time frame structure. The smaller time frame will just give you breadcrumbs as to where the bigger time frame is initially going to go. Okay, so we have that there, and I also want to put an alert here to say NZD Chef 15-minute breaker structure. Okay. All right, that's what I see on NZD Chef, you guys. So we, like I said, we got some really good opportunities this week. I'm looking forward to it. This is NFP week, so we're gonna have movement. Oh, one confluence I want to tell you guys: NZD Chef and gold. I want to show you guys the correlation with it. Okay, so let's do a compare. Let's compare these two. So we have NZD Chef, and let's look at gold. Okay, because I want you guys to see how they move and they compare to each other. Okay. One of the things with these two pairs, so this is gold up here and this is NZD Chef, they move opposite. So if you're ever pretty much taking a trade with gold, let's say you're taking a buy with gold, 9 times out of 10, you won't necessarily be looking for buys with NZD Chef. You'll be looking for sales, because as you can see, as NZD Chef is dropping, you can see gold is increasing. Now, what are we looking for on gold this week? We're looking for sales. I told you on gold, we're looking for sales. What are we looking for NZD Chef? We're looking for buys. It's in the retesting phase. I'm looking for buys on NZD Chef. Gold, we're looking for sales. So that's something you guys can look at as well. This little area here with the plus, you can compare and contrast different pairs. That way, if it's two different pairs that you like trading or whatever the case may be, you can compare them to each other to see, okay, if I'm in a buy over here, then I know for this pair here, I need to be selling. Okay, so this little comparative tool, you can use that to compare almost any pair and kind of see exactly what it does. Let's look at gold and AUD, because sometimes those two pairs move opposite. Even though USD is in the denominator, AUD and USD sometimes move opposite. So let's check it out. AUD USD. Okay. Like I said, you know, but we can see they both kind of moving in parallel right now, but there are some instances where these two pairs, they kind of move a little opposite of each other. Okay. And so that's something to be mindful of. We can see that, you know, they both kind of declining right now. They're kind of moving in parallel, but there are some instances where they kind of move a little opposite. Okay, so to just be mindful of that. But for that pair, NZD Chef and gold, that's one of the things I always keep in my mind. If I'm looking for sales on gold, then I'm automatically looking for buys on NZD Chef, and kind of vice versa. Okay. Hey, you guys, are there any other pairs that you guys want me to look at while we still got some time? Or if there are any questions that you guys have? And like I said, you guys, I hope that this helps you guys as far as this week. Oh, one of the things I want to show you guys with gold. So if you guys notice in my pairs over here, I have a pair that's called GLD. This is Gold Trust. Okay, let me go here. If you look at Gold Trust, this is almost like the non-Forex portion of gold. And so this thing here actually gives you confluences as to where gold is going to go. So check this out, you guys. If you're looking at gold, you can see we have this huge gap here. Price has not closed this gap. Wherever there's a gap, it has to close. Okay, so if we look in like previous areas and things like that, there's a gap up here that needs to be closed, you know, different things like that. But in previous areas, you see there was a gap here, it got closed. It has to close those gaps. Okay, so looking at this, knowing that gold is bearish, this is an extra confluence you can look at to say, okay, it created this gap. I know this needs to come down to this area here. So when you see gaps like this, you can take a peek over here at gold and it'll give you breadcrumbs to say it has to close this. So gold has to come down a little bit. Remember what I said that I'm looking for this week on gold. I'm looking for sales. So for me, this is an extra confluence to say gold needs to come, gold needs to drop. So I'm looking for sales on mine. So this week I'm expecting this particular area, this gap area, to get closed. Okay, so that's something, that's an extra confluence that we can look to see. You can look at this pair of gold, just GLD, and that'll give you some confluences as to you know, when that happened or things like that. So that's one of the things I'm gonna be looking for price to come down and close this. Okay, all right. Hey, you guys, man, I want to thank y'all for rocking with us today. I hope what was said was helped. I'll be in the chat this week, and like I said, it's going to be a lot of movement this week on our pairs, and so we'll all be in the chat, chime in, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the week. Hey, man, y'all have a great week. I'll talk to y'all in the chat, and be patient, and let's get it this week. I'm out.